name's Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is another in the ongoing anthology series I call Star Wars Saturdays, where almost every Saturday for the last 3 years, oh my gosh, we're coming up on 3 years. It's crazy. I will run a game for the Gauntlet set in the Star Wars universe. We started off around Empire Strikes Back timeline with the backdrop of that, events happening there in this anthology story. And we've moved ever forward past the end of Return of the Jedi. This month, we are playing Comrades, a game by W.M. Akers, which is a revolutionary RPG powered by the apocalypse. And it has been a very easy drift to put it in Star Wars. So let me nerd out for just a moment. In the official, actual Star Wars movie trilogy, at the end of the third movie, Return of the Jedi, after Palpatine has passed away, and if spoilers, for the original trilogy, I'm sorry if I've just spoiled you. Anyway, in the special edition, there's this one world where there's a huge celebration and this statue of Emperor Palpatine is pushed over. That is Coruscant, the capital world. It was featured pretty heavily in the prequels, but some people like to pretend that doesn't exist. And, whatever. That's good for you. The Ecumenopolis of Coruscant is where our game will be taking place. Now, in the expanded universe, which isn't canon by Disney standards because they paid billions of dollars, so they get to say that. In the expanded universe, after Palpatine fell, Coruscant did not. And I thought that was a perfect setup for us to be able to try to play Comrades. So I'm using a little bit of expanded universe in that there was a vizier, a human, by the name of Sate Pestage, who stepped in. So after Palpatine fell, there was this huge celebration, and people pushed over his statue and all that stuff that we see in the movies. Then the stormtroopers came in, because just because the Death Star 2 went down didn't mean that all of them turned over. There were a lot of vested interests in keeping control of Coruscant, the jewel of the Empire, one might say. And that's where we are now. So it has been maybe a year since Palpatine has passed away. I'm not going to tie us to a specific date because it doesn't really enhance the story. It's just putting a nerd number to things, and we're okay with that. And also, we may screw up some stuff about Star Wars canon, and that's okay too, because Star Wars canon changes with every story that's told, and we're telling a story in it. So Comrades is a game that is powered by the Apocalypse, so it's built very heavily on the Apocalypse World engine. There are moves around people dying in each other's arms. It can be violent. And so we have some safety tools that I'm going to list out very quickly. We have lines, which means this is content that we are not interested in having in our story. So if someone introduces it, let's gently remind them, hey, we have a line against that. And that's line against sexual assault and sexual violence, and a line against harm to pet animals. And I like that. I've seen harm to animals before. I really like the clarity of harm to pet animals. So kudos to whoever stuck that in. There's a thing I'm going to be carrying forward. And then we have veils. These are things that we're okay if the content happens. We're not seeking it out. But if we do stumble into a point where, it feels like this might happen, we will veil it. So in Star Wars parlance, we might do a quick Lucas wipe away. We might fade to black. And the two veils are on death and endangerment of children. And what is children in Star Wars? I think we know, right? We're not going to get pedantic about it. It is a species that is not of age, that is probably small, probably has bigger eyes. There you go. If it feels like a child and it smells like a child in our story, it's a child, and therefore we will veil death or endangerment of children. And we're also going to veil on consensual sex, just the standard fade to black, maybe a little bit of soft saxophone music, whatever. we also have a few things where we're going to ask first. This is content that we're like, okay, this might be a thing we're open to contextually, but we're a little leery of it. Therefore, if you're going to introduce it, and I'm calling this out so that if I feel like I'm leaning this way, I'll check in with you all. And if any one person says, you know what, maybe not, try it a different way, that's a-okay. Excuse me. So ask first is on suicide, mind control and domination, and then ask first for romance with PCs and romance with NPCs. And I think that's really cool. I like that. There are some other safety tools around more clarification about romance with PCs and stuff, but this one works just fine. We'll just talk it out as we need. And then, of course, on top of that, we have the X card. The X card is a thing where we didn't realize that we were going to go to X or Y thing. I shouldn't say X and explanation of X. That creates some kind of inverted loop in math. We didn't realize that Y or Z thing would come, and we're uncomfortable with it. Or within this particular context, we don't want to deal with thing. You can just say, hey, I need the X card, this thing. We'll stop play just briefly. You don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to even give an explanation. I just want to clarify so I understand what's been X carded. And then we excise it from our play and we carry on. No fuss, no muss. I love the tool of X card. I know that is a blunt object. I'm fond of blunt objects. There are some more refined safety tools that are out there. These are the ones that I'm most comfortable with. That said, if for your comfort, you're like, hey, I need to introduce X or Y safety tool, we'll negotiate that and we'll make it happen. It's no problem. I've played with all of you before and trust you guys. And I know we're here to have a good time together. And I mean fellas, I mean people, I mean individual players. That's what I mean. All those things. Let's go around the horn because everyone has created their comrades up to the point of bonds. So I'd like for each of you to introduce yourself briefly and then tell me about your character. And then once we've done a round of introduction of characters, we'll circle back and figure out our bonds between each other. Then we'll go to figure out our party, which is part of Comrades. It's not like the D&D party. This is your social political party of which you are already all members. Once we have that established, then we'll try to sneak in a little bit of play because we've got some time. We'll probably take a break and then play. So I am going to start from the right-hand side of the character keeper as I'm looking at it and head left, right? Because it's a leftist game. So, look, I'm in theme, friends. I'm in theme. Ferret, good morning. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hello, I am Ferret, also known as Sawyer. I use any pronoun, so the only way you can misgender me is by being a dick. Don't be a dick. And today I will be playing, for my comrade, the Artist Playbook as a Gamorrean tattoo artist. The name she goes by, because I'm not sure most people can pronounce the correct grunts, is Charlotte, because her weapon of choice is a small portable flamethrower. I imagine it like one of those flame pistols that I've seen in Star Wars. And she was raised in the underground of Coruscant. Her parents were. She was born from a litter of Gamorreans, like is quite common, and she was raised mainly by repurposed droids. And besides, she does paint besides doing tattoos, and most of her paintings, at least 80%, are based on droid liberation or the near martyrdom droids do to make our society run, and they deserve rights like everyone else.
Question. So Charlotte was raised by droids but born into a litter. What has happened to most of the rest of her litter?
Most of them are like Gamorreans in the Undercity. If they rose to prominence, they're probably working for a Hutt. They're probably working for the man. They are a guard. They are not respected. At worst, they're a sellout. At best, they're still back home.
I will keep that in mind for the next time I run Hut Cartel. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Let's move ever leftward. Mark, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Mark. I haven't been on Star Wars Saturday in quite a long time, but if you remember me, thank you. I use they, them pronouns. I am going to be playing Rogan Halder, a Kashiri brute. And the way I see Rogan is some of his British nature is the fact that people always say, "Oh, Rogan," and then they think about the dish Rogan Josh, and then they're like, "Oh, the haha," and he just got really tired of that. So if there's a Star Wars dish that is similar, then that's probably the name that he has. But I'm going with a real world one, so it makes sense. Um, I see that in my mind that Rogan, who is a he, him, uh, is part of a large family of Kashiri, and they're uh, it's a family that's lived their life around being glass blowers, as that is one of the things that they are known for. And he's used to being poor. He's used to living in a large family, and he tried to get out. He tried to become a student, and he found that he just didn't have the wherewithal to make it through that. So um, he's back in his community and struggling to find a way forward.
So you say that he struggled as a student. Was it like applying himself to the studies? Was it financial? What was it that he struggled with?
Um, it was, I guess I imagine it being um, like he had trouble with the subjects. And when he saw how much money his family was putting into it, he just couldn't justify it in his mind. So he stopped.
Could they have afforded it?
No, I mean they were doing things to make they were stretching themselves to make it happen.
Were they stretching themselves legally, illegally, taking weird loans? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think there were predatory loans that were being taken out.
And they haven't paid all those back yet, have they?
No, and I've had to fend off some people because of that.
Thank you. I mean, that's a real shame.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else about Rogan?
Um, when I figure it out, I'll let you know what kind of student he was trying to be, like what he was trying to study. But
We can discover it in play when it's dramatically appropriate. I love it. I think that's a really cool thing to put on the table.
Yeah.
And I'm already buzzing with like other student NPCs to throw at you that like either know or don't know that you have dropped out. That'll be great.
Right.
Love it. Steven, welcome back. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name's Steven, and I use the he, him pronouns. Today I'm playing Curl Durpo, Curl, as in a curl.
Okay, cool. Not coral, like
not
as in
coral.
Walking Dead.
Oh, I don't know
Coral. Sorry.
Curl is an Ognaut. He's an older Ognaut, uses he, him pronouns. He's a janitor in the lower levels of Coruscant, and he might have a few keys to places he normally shouldn't. I think that he has connections where we swap keys and duplicate keys. I see them as like little key cards to get into places. You know, Ognauts only grow to be old by either being smart or crafty. And I think he's a little bit crafty.
Great. I really like that. Oh man. Is he a custodian for like a large corporation? Do you think he's a custodian maybe at the college that Rogan failed to go to, or the university where Rogan went, or over a number of places? Like, where are you thinking he's?
Yeah, I think that he was actually a custodian of a gambling den. And this is something just like what you'd see in some of the prequel movies where there's a lot of messy people and that kind of stuff. And maybe he picked up some chips every once in a while. That way he didn't, he made out a little bit better than his salary would provide. He could keep out of the way. He was good at, making sure no one saw him. But he also knows some illicit people from, that gambling den. Where, oh yeah, you're short a little bit, aren't you? And they helped you out, or you were dealing in the den, and that kind of thing.
That's really cool. I like that. I like that a whole lot. Oh man, that's totally dope. Awesome. We need to name that gambling den, or casino. So let's just put that as a thing. I think in the NPCs and places there is a.
Do you still work there?
Yeah. Do you still work there?
So I think I do. However, there's been a lot of upheaval, and the den isn't open as much as it used to be. I think that there are police raids much more often than there used to be, because they know that this is a source of money. So I only work there, a couple of days a week, and I see a lot of what's the right word, tyranny that's going on, that's being used to fund the Imperial forces.
Nice.
I think it might be a plot point that I might want to try to get like an enforcer job or a bouncer job at the. So I was wanting to build towards that.
Do you want to build towards that, or do you want to say you already were an enforcer?
When we get further along and we know more about our party, I think I'll know more.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely on the table.
Cool. I like that, Mark. And now we are to Cody.
Hey, I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns. Today I'm playing Lin Lanid, a Duros cult leader of sorts. He's a recurring character from Star Wars Saturday Game previously. He's a young Duros, early 20s. He's been raised to be a sort of messianic figure for his people. Nothing he chose, but it was kind of what they constructed around him. He has since kind of had a little bit of a break from the formal structure of his cult, and found himself kind of on his own. And as the saying goes, all roads lead back to Coruscant. So he's found his way here back to the center of the galaxy, perhaps trying to find a purpose, trying to find a people. That's what he's up to.
That is cool. I'm so excited to have Lin. When you mentioned, hey, maybe I'll play Lin. Like, yes, please. More of that. That sounds great. Cool. Thank you all for introducing your characters. Let's do another circle back round, and we'll be doing bonds. Bonds are very similar to HX from Apocalypse World. So let's just start back again with you, Ferret. You got some bonds stand out.
Am I going to be doing all of them at once, or are we going to do like one and like sort of stagger them around?
That's a great question. What do you prefer, Ferret? What do you think usually works here?
I like to sort of like see like how we. I like to do like one at a time, so we can sort of build bonds along the way and see how we all connect in the end.
All right, let's try it that way.
Okay, I'll ask mine first, which I think I know probably who it will be. Which of you supported my work from the beginning?
Now, your work is a tattoo artist, or
my specialize in tattoo. I also do paintings of mostly like droids in like messianic manners.
I think it's probably Lin. I think from the beginning, I think it's a little tough because I think Lin's kind of more of a recent arrival.
Oh yeah, but Gamorreans are like short-lived, so.
Oh, Gamorreans lived at 5. But no, yeah, I think Lin sees your art. He likes it. He's probably gone to you for a touch-up on his face tattoo.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe he's getting more work done if he ever gets the creds together. I think Lin's a supporter of the arts for you. Yeah.
Sweet. I'll get +3 with you.
That is really cool. All right, then we'll move to the left. Rogan.
I want to figure out what order to ask these in. Let's see here. Which of you believes violence never solved anything? Yikes. That's a tough stand to take.
I think that was probably me.
Okay.
And I think that's because I saw too many people. There's always a loser in violence.
Okay.
And I saw too many people taken out by it. Yeah.
So do I write down this bond or does Carol write down this bond? I write down the bond.
Yeah, you write down
Okay.
the bond.
Okay, I have written it down.
Okay. Kirill.
Which of you worked alongside me?
Oh, well, there's the thing we talked about before, right?
Right.
I think I worked along beside you.
Awesome. So I get a +2 bond with you.
Okay. And then Lynn.
I think, which of you detests my rejection of traditional faith? All right, maybe.
What is your faith? Like, what is? Yeah.
Good question. So Lynn's faith is that the kind of his people are meant to go beyond the galaxy, beyond the known regions. And so he's been raised as kind of his title is like Wayfinder and Pathfinder and stuff like that. The idea is he is someone who will lead people on a great exodus to another place. So for him, the religion is kind of about freeing themselves from the shackles of current galactic civilization, I guess. What that is more intensely, I don't know, but it's about kind of the mysteries of the beyond and pushing ourselves to that place, to the paradise that we're going to find elsewhere, not here.
Yeah, then I will not take that question.
Yeah, maybe I think there's other ones, and maybe I'll just do a +1 for everybody on that one. I think this is an interesting group. That same kind of thing with that violence question. It's like, oh, maybe we're all a little violent, and maybe we're all a little, faith-wise weird. I don't know.
And that may be a kind of question that works better outside of Star Wars, but we'll carry forward. You got another question you want to throw in?
Yeah. Which of you is my most trusted disciple?
Take that.
Yeah.
I think my other 20% of paintings are Duros's in messianic ways.
Oh. Like I came in one day and you started doing that, and I was like, I like this. I like. But
you're like droid, Duros, droid.
Cool. So I'll mark a +3 with you as well.
Sweet. Circle back around to Charlotte.
Okay. Which of you hates my work?
That's a good question. I love that.
Oh God. Okay, I'll do it. I guess I hate your work.
And is it like the tattooing or the paintings, all of it?
I think it's the paintings, and I think the idea of a messiah is lazy, right? Like
I love that.
That we have
cool.
We have to work for our own salvation. We don't have to wait for somebody to come and save us. So yeah, definitely not the Duro. Yeah, those I'll give a pass on. Those are pass.
That's great. I like that a lot. Cool. So Rogan, what bond do you want to hand out?
Yeah, next up. Which one of you bailed me out when I got in over my head?
I think maybe Lynn did. I think my thought of this isn't so much financially bailed you out, but Lynn's a bit of a quick talker, and I think maybe he saw you getting into some trouble I think Lynn probably stepped in and maybe helped smooth things over.
Neat.
Yeah, that feels very Lynn too. I like that a lot. Carol.
Which of you has never done an honest day's work?
Can you repeat? It cut at the very beginning.
Sorry.
Stephen.
Which of you have never done an honest day's work?
I think that would be Lynn as well. I think Lynn grew up a pretty posh lifestyle, and then when he had to do honest work, it was decidedly dishonest work.
Well, actually, before you decide that, let me tell you my other bond, which is listed to see if you want that one instead. Which of you stinks of management?
Ooh, yeah, that's all right.
I was going to say, like, do you consider art honest work?
Let's see.
I mean,
you are a tattoo artist?
I tattoo a lot of gang members.
Yeah, let's put that down. So you are a -3.
Okay. Yeah. It's work. It's not honest, but it's work.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Huh. The bond doesn't go as low as -3.
Interesting. Okay, Lynn.
All right, my last targeted question is, which of you has helped me see God? Or in this case, maybe the Force.
Ooh, nice reinterpretation. I like that.
I might have punched you really hard. You thought you saw the Force.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe, what if the that punched me really hard, make me see the Force? What if that's what triggered you getting in over your head and me smoothing it out? Like we got into a bar fight, and then I was like, oh, I think this person's going places. I should stick with him. You helped me see the path on Coruscant, maybe.
Oh wow. Okay. Like that. You arrived on Coruscant, and we were at the bar together, and
exactly. And people are like, hey, you can't be fighting. You need to get out of here, Rogan. And I'm like, oh, no. I think he's my friend. I think we're cool.
Actually, I think that might go with Rogan's next backstory question if he's going to ask.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, I will. Yeah. So I'll take that one, Lynn.
Okay.
Good. Just to add a detail, I'd like for that to take place at Viscosity, the bar where you guys got into a fight and got in trouble and got arrested and all that good stuff. That's cool.
Lynn would of course go to the bar named Viscosity. That just seems, the place to be. It's really happening.
Could we have gone to jail together, and that's when we smoothed over the friendship? Like, serve some time? Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. And that's the perfect messianic thing. Like I went to prison kind of deal. I love it. Sweet. Let's circle back around to Charlotte.
And I feel free to not take this one, Carol, but do you find artists irresistibly romantic? If not, you don't get my art. That's basically the options.
Let's say I don't get your art because I see Ugnaughts as being very work-oriented and not really very artistic.
That's very fair, so I'll take a -1 with you.
Okay.
Nice. Good then, Rogan.
Which of you bested me in a fight?
You insulted Lynn. Of course I did. It wasn't a fair fight, but I did.
Nice.
Very cool. Then Kirill.
Which of you stinks of management?
Yeah.
And so that gives me a -1 with you. And I'm only going to take a -2 with Charlotte for the not done an honest day's of work because the character keeper won't let me put in a -3.
Oh, I mean, I can change it. That's really weird.
Yeah. If you want to, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll do it. Worker, I'm just gonna. That is odd that I don't know who made the character keeper, so I'll fix it.
No problem.
Cool. And then Lynn, what's your last one?
My last one was the one that we felt didn't really fit. So for all other comrades, I'm going to write bond +1. You see the beauty in their souls. I think, of course, Lynn sees the beauty in Hurl Durbo's soul, despite his misgivings about him.
Can you repeat your previous one, the one that we skipped?
Yeah. It was which of you detests my rejection of traditional faith?
Could we twist, if you wanted to, we could twist that a little bit and say that I detest blind faith rather than traditional faith? Meaning, you know, what kind of faith should people put in you? It's really about how strong, you know, how much you work towards a particular thing, not what's given to you.
Yeah, I think I could be down with that, Bond. I think Lynn's kind of past that point of wanting blind faith necessarily, but maybe you're still you're kind of stick in the mud place from that point. You know, you feel Lynn's more demanding, and the reek of management. You think Lynn wants more from people than perhaps he does overtly. And so you guys, butt heads. I like that. Okay, yeah. So perfect. I'll take a -2 with you, Curl.
Okay,
nice. Good work, everybody. Now we're going to go through party. Some of these questions could be challenging because I know coming up with names is hard. So let's take a few moments thinking about the injustice, oppression, and evil inherent in Coruscant post death of Palpatine, the rise of Vizier Sate Pestage. And also about how you guys want to set things right. I'm using some printouts from Comrades. Yeah. Oh,
I was gonna say, first thought that comes to mind talking about the evils of the Empire remnant that's still on Coruscant. The Empire is notoriously human-centric. None of us are humans. And I bet after the death of Palpatine, probably their worst agitator plays to those worst vibes. Mm-hmm. And it's even more so no, humans first. We're the most populous. We're this. So maybe there's something about the fact that all of us are aliens that our party represents that. I don't know.
That's really interesting. That's a good opening point. So now I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. Yeah, I think I'm going to start off. Oh, look, you all guys all did the renames. Thank you so much. Carol, has the regime hurt someone close to you?
Yes. They hurt my employer and made overall business down here more difficult. We've discussed already a little bit about what that means. And I think I might actually name fellow janitors or fellow workers here in a moment. I'll put it in the chat that have been hurt by the Imperials, picked up, and we know what that means.
Don't see him again kind of deal.
Yeah.
Cool. You think you guys have a informal custodial union kind of thing going on?
Union, gang, gossip network, something like that. Yeah.
Cool. Rogan, what about life in Coruscant makes you seethe?
I have an idea. Hold on for a second.
Sure.
I seethe at the way things change. Things like, there's the moving goalposts of what it means to be a good citizen. There's always construction or deconstruction going on somewhere, and there's just this lack of continuity. especially amongst like families. Like it's just really hard to have traditions when everything's always changing. So
That's really interesting. Cool. Lynn, what caused you to embrace revolution?
For Lynn, I think revolution is the natural order of things. It means progress. It means what comes next. I think he's naturally attracted to any movement of passionate people, and anybody who's looking to kind of break through the norms to the next thing attracts Lynn, as that is what his prophesized purpose was about. So.
Charlotte, if you could remake this world from the ground up, what would you create?
A purely horizontal world where anything with sapience, be it crafted or born, has the rights to a life, a rights to have what they desire, and that no one shall be held above another due to race, creed, outlook, or ability.
Nice.
Or language.
Sweet. What, Charlotte, would you sacrifice to make that dream come real?
I would sacrifice my muse.
Wow. Who or what is your muse?
My muse is what makes me. It is my flame. It is my passion. It is my drive. I would burn out into a dusty husk to make sure that everyone had the chance to at what I did not.
Nice. Dang, that's powerful. I like that a lot. Okay, you guys need to know more about the party you've decided to join. You may end up on opposite sides of the revolution at the start of play. It's important for you all to belong to the same party and be working more or less toward the same goals. What kind of group do you guys want to belong to? A popular group, obscure, a large group, a small group, part of a larger political movement, or entirely independent? I know there's a lot of questions, so let me break it down. Are you guys interested in a small group at start, or that you're being swept up in a group that's already somewhat large?
If I may, from what you stated from that list, I like the idea that we're like a splinter group in a political movement, like that. There are the humans who are being oppressed, but we're the non-humans, the non-clones that are being oppressed, and we are the minority in the majority of the minority.
if you will, an aliens' lives matter kind of
Yes.
group.
Yeah.
But also
mercy.
droids. Also droids.
All beings matter. Oh my, that's okay.
Either that or like a small liberation front would be fine on my end.
I wanted there to be something where we have companions or peers. So if it was like a cell from a group of cells, or like you said, a splinter group, but I want there to be other people that like share our same views, but maybe be in conflict with us. But at least have somebody take care of like the banner printing. I don't want to have to pay for that. Someone else should have to pay for that. So.
Don't worry, that's on me.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's true. Yay, artist. Cool. So let's come up with this party name. It can be something imperious, martial, poetic, or cryptic. I know this
Depending
is
on
hard.
if it's like a cell or something, like it could be some. If we want poetic, the inevitable progress of change. If we want something just like forceful and hard, the inevitable. Or like the like the splinter cell kind of thing could be, or let's see. I'll let others speak.
Thank you, Ferret. That's a good start. Inevitable progress of change. Any other party name ideas out there?
So if I look at the fantasy name generator, it has a rebellion name generator, and some of the cool words in that are vindication. Yeah, it's a lifesaver. Vindication, defiance, insurgency. Those are all good words to try to tie together.
Kind of cool.
Not that I'm recommending it, but the first thing that came to mind was I was just looking at the list of the pathways, and I was just like, the Mayhem Fellowship. Kind of jumped out. I was like, I don't think that works, but
Cute.
Ooh, here's one. Randomly, it came up with the Voiceless Insurgency.
Ooh, I like that. Or just like the Voiceless. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Let's go with the Voiceless Insurgency, but nicknamed the Voiceless. And I love that you guys are like this little cell of a lot of humans that say they're voiceless, not even realizing you guys as non-humans are even more voiceless. That's really poignant. That's cool. You guys, everybody good with that? All right. All right, this one gets a little fuzzy and there's not a whole lot of help in the book, so hopefully we can make it through. What is your party ideology? It can be a real life strain of revolutionary theology, something made up, or something vague. There's a section on ideologies in the book, but it pretty much just says ideologies. This is about Crest, and there's a list of like anarchism, which is a spectrum of theories for the reorganization of society along voluntary means.
If we want to, we could be like from Star Wars. It could just be like a rebellion based. Like we based it off like the stories we've heard of the rebellion.
Is this sort of like what we're standing for as a group?
Yeah, like it would be like our method. Like, are we like anarcho-communists? Are we
right?
Leninists, Maoists, Marxists kind of stuff? Like what philosophy drives us?
I kind of like the idea you mentioned, Ferret, taking inspiration from the rebellion. I kind of like the idea of not being rebellion or New Republic now, like sympathizers necessarily, because it feels like, we could have, if that was the push for all of us, we could have joined the rebellion years ago. So maybe we're some, political thing being supported. Oh, you got an idea, Farrah? What's up?
I'm saying this is like the way, like the leftists see neoliberalism. Like the New Republic is just the neoliberal newness, and like so for us, it is like we are like the people's movement.
Mark, what are you thinking?
Well, when you say people's movement, are you talking like people's movement in China, like that led to?
No, like we stand for like everyone that no one else stands for, like as the non-humans, the people that don't get to have their voices heard, kind of thing. But again, that's
so maybe we're egalitarians.
Yeah, that could work.
We work for equality.
Well, actually, Charlotte was talking about horizontalness, right? Maybe we're working on like dismantling power structures and egalitarianism. I don't know what the words would be for that. I'm not a philosopher or a political scientist, but we don't want, as much as we don't want people being oppressed, we also don't want the structures in place that let people be oppressed, right?
Yeah,
Like stormtroopers taking away people at the casino to never be seen again, that kind of stuff.
yeah. If there ever is authority, it has to be legitimate, and kind of thing.
Yeah. So maybe a more democratic revolution kind of.
Okay.
Egalitarianism sounds like a good ideology for me.
Yeah.
Go for egalitarianism. I dropped it. If anyone ever wants to go, I probably should have done this ahead of time, but I grabbed from the Kreshti section a big ass list of ideologies, but I think egalitarianism sounds good to me. So let's go with that. Sweet. Purpose. What is your party's concrete goal? Seize power, uplift the masses, smash the ruling class, cut every noble's throat, to bring the republic here? What is it feels like bringing the republic here isn't your goal, which I think is fascinating, and I really like that. So let's not have that on the table unless somebody feels inclined to change. So do you want to seize power for yourselves, uplift the masses, just take out the ruling class, or just bring down the empire on Coruscant?
I kind of see it as uplift the masses.
I agree. Well, yeah, I mean, it's the power structure too. It's both at the same time. You have to lift while pulling down on other things too.
And don't forget that the pathways that you guys walk as we play through could change and shift either your allegiance to this party or what the party is headed towards. So this isn't a forever statement. This is right now, this is what the party is about, that you joined on. So you guys we all start on the same page. That's all.
I kind of like, we talked about this earlier. Mark mentioned this, that wanting to be a group within a larger group that maybe we don't see eye to eye on or something. I kind of like, even though I feel like I'm trying not to have as much say in what the party is, just because I feel like Lynn comes to it later. So I kind of want to inhabit that, like, oh, I'm not, saying what I want it to be, but I feel like having a more, uplift the masses. But part of me kind of feels like maybe the more pressing purpose, concrete purpose right now is like more destructive. Like it's more just, we need to take care of the empire that's still here now. The uplifting the masses will naturally come after that fact. But right now it's like, things have boiled over or something. But as you mentioned, Richard, this is where we're starting. It'll change and play based off how we play and stuff like that. So I don't know. It was just kind of a thought where it's like, I kind of like the idea, similar to like Rogue One. Saw Gerrera's forces are the more militant, like extremists who are blowing up, troopers and stuff like that. I kind of liked the idea of this party, this specific group being more aggressive, I guess.
Well, we still have our methodology. Like, we could uplift the masses by showing them how to destroy the upper classes.
So I'll leave it uplift the masses for now, but we have an eye towards the possibility of that evolving through play. So now this next one is optional. Do you have a leader, a comrade, or NPC who calls the shots? Feels like none of you guys call the shots right now because you're a splinter group. Do we want to have a figurehead for at least the major part of the Voiceless?
I'd like to. I think that'd
Yeah.
be good.
Stephen, you were saying something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to have someone, but I don't know who that is yet. Let's make them a human.
Yeah, I think
That
it makes
feels
sense
right.
to have them.
Yeah, maybe it's the one of the bosses at the casino if we want to tie it back in there.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's a pissed off casino boss.
Or like, throwing in like vast amounts of money at this kind of thing. Like we have our own patron.
I kind of like that. You guys like that?
Yeah.
Are they the face or are they the guts?
I like maybe
Maybe they're the contact. So basically, we're like a cell, and we don't know the rest of the organization, just so that if we get picked up, they won't come after us. They won't come after the rest of everyone. And this is kind of the one bridge point.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine someone that's a little bit as bad as it seems, like has had an easier life than some of us, is still being our face, because like they're the ones that are going to be able to deal with the upper levels a little bit better, like some in between the upper levels and the lower levels as the face. But definitely as somebody like in the guts of the organization, I could definitely see a gambling hall operator.
Cool. I'm into that. So Ryaka Maddox, does that name work for everybody?
Yeah, that works
Yeah.
great.
Down on row 14 of the NPCs is where I have the entry. If somebody wants to find a picture for Ryaka Maddox and insert that in, I think that'd be awesome. What do we think about Esley Terra? She's currently listed as a New Republic broadcast reporter and the niece of a woman named Granny Fixit. Is she affiliated with this servant? I can change that New Republic and say that maybe she's a broadcaster for the Voiceless. Good with that? Okay. I'm going to just change that then. She's maybe a little bit on the figurehead. Maybe she's communication to get word out to different cells. If you guys are cool with that. All right. So then we've got Ryaka. Do you have a slogan? Something pithy that sums up the party's purpose, the voiceless insurgency, and how you intend to achieve it to uplift the masses. If you can't come up with anything you love, that can wait.
many languages, one demand.
Many languages, one voice.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could also work.
Many people, one voice. I do like the slogan having the voice. I think that is crucial.
Or many voices, one like one saying, or one
word. Many voices,
Ooh.
one word.
Yeah, that could be it.
Many voices, one word.
Yeah. With I think our word being freedom.
I like that.
Which that may be
Yeah.
like our code word, like, you just like it like, the Duros word of freedom is how you're in the sect, if you say it in a certain way, or say like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's good stuff. Sweet. Then the last thing that we need to choose is your preferred approach.
So there are like translators, right? Like I know that there are droid translators, but there's like ways
Oh,
that you-
absolutely. Yeah.
right? So maybe our word for freedom is one that translators just don't really pick up. Like when we're talking about it to each other or something like that, like it's something that if somebody doesn't know the word itself, their translator isn't going to work for them, and they're not going to be able to follow the conversation.
Can I make a suggestion there? So in canon, there's a language that is like not allowed to be used by droids and translators and stuff, and that's Sith, ancient Sith. Is our code word the ancient Sith word for freedom?
That is messed up.
Oh, is it like literally a slur in the Sith language?
No, well, I mean, it could be, I guess.
If it's freedom, it might be.
Or like a curse, kind of like how we would say, you know, oh darn it or damn it kind of thing. It's like they escaped my, like, it's freedom that also translates to like they escaped my grasp.
Okay. I mean, I was kind of liking the not insidious, well, maybe it is insidious, the nature that it's like, you know, the Sith, their whole ideology, right, is about personal freedom and kind of their own thing. So it's like they value freedom greatly for themselves, not necessarily for others. And so less, you know, just kind of having this tenuous tie of, well, scanners or whatever, droids aren't allowed to use, they're not allowed to like record and reuse Sith that's spoken or translated or anything like that. So it's, we rely on that fact. And the fact that it is Sith, you know, this tie to this ancient evil civilization gives us this kind of nefarious lineage in a way.
Oh, no, I get it. Like I was thinking more like, you know, it's kind of like also a reappropriation of the word, the language, and like it's kind of like the Church of Satan kind of thing. You know, to society we're bad, but to us we're great kind of thing. So it's like I really enjoy like the Sith language, like the insidious nature of it. Like even if we're reclaiming the word, other people ain't going to like it.
We're not here to make people feel happy or comfortable. So anyway.
Okay. That's fascinating. You guys good with that? All right.
Yeah.
Preferred method.
Again, I like for preferred method, I like it to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more violent, especially if we have this, you know, we say we're reappropriating or, you know, we're reclaiming Sith language and stuff like that. If just by, you know, not to get all Star Wars, but if just by kind of repeating these Sith phrases, if we just kind of keep, you know, building on that, there is a little bit of, you know, dark side or whatever going on in our methods.
Yeah, I like mayhem or zealotry.
I like both those, yeah.
Stephen, where are you leaning?
So looking over them before we discussed much of this, I was thinking force or fellowship. So zealotry looks like is about making high profile events. Mayhem is about assassination and bombs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe mayhem out of those.
Okay. So we got a couple votes from mayhem. Mark?
Oh, I see. It's pretty much the same role every time if the public approves what you've done. So it's just your method. It really is just your method.
Right.
And which stat you end up rolling with. Yeah, I think mayhem.
Okay. Mayhem's our preferred method then. I think that will complete all of our setup. Yeah. Good. Any last questions, thoughts before we take a break? All right. It is 41 after. Let's take like 9 minutes. So we'll meet back at 10 till and we'll get in some play.
Sounds good.
I tried to grab some pics for our 3 abductees. They're all on row 14. I specifically like Chinchenses. I'm pretty proud of that picture that I found in the Googles. So yay.
It's always amazing the kinds of stuff you can find. I like Googled for Sith translation and was able to find just a Google Translate kind of thing. I'm like, that's crazy. And the images we can find, that's amazing.
I love the internet.
Yeah, and I was able to find that the Kashiri were the cradle of the Sith language at one point. So
that's crazy. That is so fantastic. The native Kashiri and the lost tribe of Sith. Huh. Yeah, it's like sometimes I mock all the expanded universe, but every once in a while I'm like, oh, this has delivered the most wonderful gift to me. I am so glad to know this thing. It's great. So, we begin play with the 4 of you. You have been assigned, or at least as far as you can tell from the broadcast by Esley Terra, you've been asked as a cell to infiltrate the detention block where Chinchenses is currently being held. She was taken in by stormtroopers recently for questioning and acts of insurgency. She, you find, is a member of your party, and was, of course, a person who was closely associated with Kirill. And so the first question that I have is, who is able to open the cell where Chinchenses is currently being held? So we pick up with the 4 of you. Maybe not all 4 of you are standing in front of the cell. We'll figure that out. It's the way I'm imagining it is a little bit like the most recent season of Clone Wars when they were on the Obadiah, and there was a prison there. So for folks who may not have seen it, you check out the last season of Clone Wars. It was great. They ended it really well. That said, so I'm imagining that the cells themselves have like a force shield to them and effectively a mechanism on the outside that is the device that would unlock that particular cell. There are, in this particular detention block, 20 different cells, 10 on either side, and a main hallway. And then I'm kind of imagining like the cell itself looks kind of like the Imperial signal, right? Or the Imperial symbol, right? So it's like a bunch of, and then a central core which is where the main holding area is, similar to the way that you had that long hallway where Princess Leia's cell was in New Hope, right? So I'm kind of combining a couple of different ideas for that. So it looks from exterior, it would look like a hexagon. You're down one of the shafts leading off the main area. So which of the 4 of you is opening the cell when we open up, and how are you doing it?
I think that's me.
Makes sense. You've got keys. We already established that, right?
It makes the most sense. I don't, I think that I might have gotten keys like into a less secure area of this facility, but I don't think I actually have keys into the detention cell. That would be a hard ask from the janitor of this facility, or the workmen in this facility, because it could be tracked back to them. So I think I'm actually I had the panel pried open and I'm working on the innards like you have to do whenever you fix these kinds of things.
It sounds like you're good with your hands.
Yeah.
So we'll be asking you to make that move roll in just a second, but let me do just a wee bit more setup. Who is near the kind of central door that leads down the shaft where the 20 different cellmates are and watching out for the return of the stormtroopers? Okay, so Lynn.
I think Lynn is the lookout, yeah.
Lynn's the lookout? Awesome. What are you carrying, Lynn? Do you have any weapons on you?
That's a good question. Do we all have weapons on us?
If you want to have weapons, you have weapons.
I think Lynn has.
If you have weapons, you will definitely be shot. If you don't have weapons, you might just be hit with a stun blast. So
knowing that the party's methods are mayhem, I think we're okay with going in hot. So I'm gonna have a blaster. Yep.
What's that blaster like? Like, come on, Cody, geek out for me a little bit. What blaster does Lynn Linden have?
You know what? It's I think it's a, oh boy. I mean, the one you just go to first is the DL-44, right? The Han Solo blaster. It's a heavy blaster.
It's pretty sexy.
It's probably too big for Lynn's frame, to be honest. Like he shouldn't be wielding it, but it's what he got his hands on back when they got the job. So I think he just has the biggest gun in the hopes of scaring anybody from trying to mess with him.
Awesome. Is this like a wrist breaking kind of blaster that when it pops off, it's hurts to fire kind of deal?
Yes, of course.
Hot. That is so good. That is so good. Sweet. Charlotte, are you two questions, one or the other. Number one, did you guys have to disable droid while coming in, and that's what you're dealing with right now? Or are you looking across the way from Chinz's at a cell where one of your siblings is standing?
Ooh. I think I'm staring at a sibling.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, you're staring at a sibling. Cannot hear them because their cell is closed and they like to keep this in quiet. There's like a little bit of ambient, like white noise this buzzed in here. It's the kind of thing that drive an alien crazy, but it's very comfortable for humans. And so we're going to say that Duroc is your sibling, and they're looking at you like you came to save them. And when everyone else turns and you see Curl is starting to work on Chinz's, there's a bit of confusion, possibly anger. So what do we see on your face as your sibling is saying, like, you can read their lips?
Oh, I think we actually have like the sign language that we had to learn, like to be able to talk with other races before we were able to actually get out a real language.
Love it.
Like, he's signing just angrily, and I think she's signing back. Be calm. Have you been here longer than her? Like, trying to get information and keep him calm.
Oh, cool. All right, so you're trying to keep him calm because you know that if he loses his shit, loses his poodoo, things could go bad. So let's see if you can sway Duroc to be cool.
Ooh.
Right now. Yeah, no, you're not the best swayer. And then Rogan. So Rogan, we have Curl currently working on the lock of the person that you guys have been assigned to take care of. We've got Lynn watching out. We've got Shar talking to another Gamorrean. What is Rogan doing right now?
now that I've unmuted myself. I think this isn't a quiet operation. I think when we get what we want, we're like exploding some things. I think I'm planting explosives.
It's just like popping little thermal detonators kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, is the eventual, does Rogan intend on letting all these people out with these explosions?
He intends to shut down the force shield network. So he's trying to go for that kind of circuitry kind of thing.
It sounds like you're taking a risk.
I would say it's risky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty risky. Awesome. So you'll be rolling with spirit. Let's start off with.
No. Choose another stat, please.
Let's see. Take a risk. When you take a mad risk for the revolution, roll with spirit. So yeah, it's no choice. It's a move. You've done it. It's great. This is a great choice. Good call. So let's start with Carol. Let's see if you are good with your hands and are able to open up. So roll with mind. We have a roll with me party. You guys got that? I did it way earlier. Like, it looks like everybody's in. So cool.
Do you mind if I roll physical dice?
You know what? I think you should roll physical dice because I'm used to it.
Okay. So I rolled an 8 and my mind is a 1, so that's a 9.
Okay, so you've got a choice. 7 and 9. It's too powerful. It's too dangerous. It can't be trusted.
So I'm trying to unlock the door.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say it's too dangerous.
Do you think it's too dangerous because you take one down, you take them all down, and it sets off some alarms?
That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds perfect.
All right, so you know that if once you flip this last button here, yes.
As long as they don't stop on what Rogan's doing with his explosives.
Oh, I think his explosives are different.
Okay, good. Okay.
Right? Because it might be like blown. You're trying to take down the network, right? So there's something that it sits on top of that you're doing. They're going a little extra, Rogan.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Sweet. So, Curl, are you the kind of person that would give them a heads up? Hey, I'm about to open all the doors, or would you just do it?
Oh, I don't think I realized that it was going to open all the doors. I think I'm just wiring, and I think I'm just opening this single door, and then they all unlock, right? They all go down.
Nice. So, Shar, you are trying to calm your brother down. Let's see how that sway goes. It'll kind of determine his attitude once these doors come down. Not good. That looks like a 4. So the good news is that, like a lot of other PBTA games, this is XP on a fail. So go ahead and mark an experience point. You see in your brother's eyes that he knows you were not here for him. And he's not going to forget that. And that's when all of the doors open. The force shield just evaporates, and you immediately hear the klaxons, the kind of Imperial klaxon that we heard in Return of the Jedi when the Death Star was about to explode, you know. Lynn, you see a few stormtroopers come running out of one of the other shafts where you guys had distracted them with all this going on. Rogan, let's have you roll with spirit, your XP generating stat.
Oh boy. Okay, this is my first time using this particular one. So
yeah, let me do a quick screen share because it's not super intuitive, but once you get used to it, it's actually a pretty great die roller. So if you want to create a roll, you can do that for ongoing stuff. But right now, all you need to do is go 2d6, and then your roll modifier is a -1. You can name it if you want, like that was take a risk. And then you click roll the dice, and then it'll pop over here and it will show you your results. You can even tell it to sum, add the dice for you, and sometimes you can list it. But right now we want to sum, add the dice. Does that help?
Yes.
Explosives. And that looks like a 9. What? Come on, that's not XP.
It's not.
Did you get the memo?
Turn it upside down. It'll be a 6.
Okay, that's cool. A 7 to 9, your risk pays off, kind of. The GM will tell you what went wrong. So we see a top. First thing, doors open up. Charlotte, your brother rushes forward, as do a number of other people kind of rising up because they saw you guys were here, right? They couldn't say or do anything, but these doors go down. They're all moving into the central hallway. Lynn, when the klaxons go off, a couple of stormtroopers rush in, look around, and they fix their eyes on you, and one is bringing up his blaster rifle. Rogan, you take down the communications network. So, right, are we cool with like you were trying to just take down the comm network, or just restate to me, what do you think you were trying to do? Explosives?
I think I was trying to take it down like a power portion of the network.
Okay, cool. That works great. And a 7 to 9 would be your pop. A couple of the thermal detonators go off. We see these like power rods explode, and then the lights all go off. And that's when, Lynn, we see a couple of red blaster bolts land like right beside you. And it's enough of an explosion where you think they're going to be able to sight in their next shots to hit you. But they're lighting themselves up by shooting the blaster bolts. Lynn, what do you do?
Lynn opens fire. I mean, they're here for a purpose.
Get rough.
Winosa! And then he fires his DL-44 at him.
Winosa.
That's hot.
What am I rolling here?
You're rolling plus body.
Plus body. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a great body. -1. Cool.
Why do we assign ourselves these roles?
I love it. Everybody wants to level up. That's why.
All right.
Let's bring that part up, then.
Got a
Pew,
3.
Oh God.
Coming in hot with a 3. So yeah, Lynn, draws on him, kind of ducks around. Like, we have company. What else? And then fires around the corner, not really looking, I guess.
Yeah, it kicks in your hand, and the blaster bolts light up just enough to where one of the stormtroopers sees that, and boom, he hits you full on. So let's see here. So harm. Let me quickly make sure that we apply harm correctly.
There's a cradling.
There is. There is such a thing. I'm just wondering if come on, man, catch up to me. My PDF readers.
This is where Comrade tells us that like any gunshot is just the deadliest, which is fair.
It looks like 3 harm shot from a distance.
Okay, so 3 harm is what you take out of 4. That's a lot of harm. You get knocked off of your feet, Lynn. You're going to have a sexy war scar. And also you're near death. That hurt real hard. So good job. Go ahead and mark that XP and then fall to the ground. Sweet. We have explosions. The power has gone out. We saw a couple blaster shots happen. Everyone's rushed into the hallway. Charlotte, your brother grabs you up and rushes across and slams you into the wall on the opposite side and screams at you, "You are going to leave me to die." What do you do, Charlotte?
I was here to rescue you all. We got her out. We got you out. Do you want to fight me or fight who's keeping you here? I think I'm trying to start something.
Yeah, you are. Let's see how that goes. That sounds like you're about to start some shit.
Let's
We're all gonna die.
I'm actually kind of good at this. I have a +1.
I mean, this is kind of a thing.
Oh, I got a 12.
Oh, mighty. That is great. So on start something with a 10+, it goes the way you want at first anyway. Yeah, so I think you don't pick anything?
No, I get what I want. I think I'm trying to get the prisoners to rush the stormtroopers.
Yeah, so you throw down that gauntlet, and Durok bellows, and he's going to lumber forward towards the last, where he knows, like he's moving by memory. And there are a number of others. There's a Quarren in here.
Actually, I think Gamorreans actually see pretty well in the dark. That's
yeah, you're right. Yeah. So totally. So Iktochi kind of grabs onto his shoulder to let him guide, and then Gamorrean charges out towards these stormtroopers. And because he's not firing a blaster, I mean, he does step on you, Lynn, but not hard, just more like he stepped on your ankle. And then he rushes past you and tackles one of the stormtroopers. The Iktochi grabs another stormtrooper. Soon they're grabbing the blaster rifles. So, Kirill, you're a planner. What was the way you guys were getting out of here?
We came with some menial labor suits in my bag, and we were all going to put those on and just walk out because everything's cool, right?
Right. So what's the plan now?
Well,
you guys have about like 4 seconds before the backup generators kick in to give you ambient light here.
Yeah. I think it's to run as far as possible. I tell everyone we need to get as far away as possible and cause as much damage as possible here so that we're outside of their circle of, where they're coming to. Yeah.
Sweet. So Chin says, she comes out, she gives you like a quick side hug, Kirill. Says, I knew you wouldn't leave me alone. I knew you wouldn't leave me to die. Oh, revolution!
Ow. Oh.
Charlotte is like daintily picking Lynn up and I think like placing the blaster in his lap, and she's like fireman carrying him.
Char, my only friend.
Sweet. You know what? Just because I want to see it, I think you guys are sharing just a quiet moment amid the chaos, Charlotte, as you come and grab Lynn Lynyd. So,
we roll that bond.
Yeah. You roll with bond. If the moment's romantic, add 1 to the roll. I don't think so, so we'll just have you roll with bond.
And this one will be... Oh, dear. That's an 11.
That's great. On a 10 plus, pick 2 from the list.
Lynn gets to choose 2 because I roll, they pick, I believe.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, do they?
Let
It's
me
not-
start.
it's not clear.
I was going to choose then heal 1 of your harm and carry 1 ongoing acting as a team with Lynn.
That
or
is
as everyone.
That is exactly what I was thinking anyways, Char, because we are like this. We are like this.
You guys are the team. That's really adorable. I love that. What a cool. I'm so glad. Sweet.
Oh, Char. It doesn't look as bad as I thought. Oh, it's still pretty bad though. We gotta go.
You are a saint. Saints only take flesh wounds.
Cool. So you guys are trying to bust out of here. Those 2 stormtroopers that you saw before, they're in a world of hurt. And so I think I'd like to see, well, I'll ask. Rogan, are you going to try to sneak everyone out of here? Or are you going to, yet again, take a risk and lead everybody out of here in a big, crazy rush of folks?
That's a great question. That is a great question. Is our way out through those stormtroopers, or is our way out not through those stormtroopers?
Why don't you try to figure out what's going on here?
Okay.
Because it's a really good question.
What do I roll for that?
You roll with mind. Also, if you take a look, there's a moves tab.
Oh,
if you need that for future.
there we go. What's going on here? Roll with mind. Okay. So my mind is also a -1.
So we need you to try to put a hurt on somebody soon.
Yeah, I know, right?
You pulled it. Although you rolled pretty great earlier, so. Oh man.
I'm confused.
So there's a chance here. Since I was kind of the planner, let me see if I can help.
Oh. Okay.
And if I can get a 10 plus,
yep, you can adjust by 2.
By 2.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. So let me see if I can do that. And this is just, I think as Rogan starts to head out, I'm like, not that way. Let's go this way. So I rolled an 8, and what's my bond?
What's your bond?
With Rogan? I've got a 2.
A 10 exactly. Oh, so Rogan, you start to lead. You start looking in the wrong direction, and then Kirill gives you a little bit of help. You may ask one question, and I think you're asking, "What's the best way out?" Cool. So now I have to answer honestly because you didn't fail. So the best way out is that you are aware there's kind of a subterranean set of ladders that Carol had mentioned before. And so going down. But here's the hitch, Rogan. The more of these people who take that exit out, the slower they're going to get out and the higher chance that they're going to get recaptured. So the more dangerous route is just bust out the front door and everybody scatters in the streets of Coruscant. More people will get physically out, but a number of people will die on the way. So does that make sense? The two possible options? One is subterranean. You guys will definitely get out. You'll get out with chin-chinses, no problem. No more die rolls needed. But in the confusion, also in the idea of everybody trying to get subterranean, you'll burn that as an exit for future. And a number of folks won't have the opportunity to even get out of the detention cell. Or to go like a ball of fire, busting your way out. A number of these folks will probably get shot, but more will physically get out of the detention center.
If I chose the subterranean route, but put myself in between the response and the people escaping, could I potentially allow everyone to escape, but take on the response team?
It sounds like a mad risk for the revolution.
Yeah. Because I don't want anyone to die, and I don't want to leave anyone behind. So
that sounds amazing. Let's have you take a risk. As you point out, hey, let's head out the subterranean way. Carol, I imagine that you're trying to get chin-chinses out of here. That's what the party wanted.
That's right.
So, Rogan, you're staying behind. Lynn, you're getting carried by Charlotte.
Lynn kind of looks over Charlotte's shoulder, seeing that we're heading to the subterranean tunnels, and he says, "Follow the path. We will lead you to freedom."
Awesome.
I love this guy.
It's great. It's good stuff. This is good. All right, Rogan. And does anyone want to help poor Rogan with his -1?
So I might be able to help Rogan, and I think I might hand off some stuff from my bag at some point, and we'll see if he needs the help.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the way that help is written in this is you're supposed to roll with bond before they make a move. So that's
okay. Yeah. So perfectly. So how about if I say I hand off, maybe it's an explosive or a smoke bomb or something to kind of obscure where he's coming from. Let's see what that looks like. And this is Rogan again, right? So I rolled a 7 plus 2 is a 9.
Nice. You get a +1. All right. So you're rolling flat, Rogan. Good luck.
Okay. So in my mind, just go ahead and set it up. The smoke bomb's going to go off, and I'm going to light up not like a lightsaber or anything like that, but just basically like a powered baton. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to be like knocking people down instead of like I'm not a gun shooter. I'm actually literally beating people. The the playbook comes with someone with a bat as a
Mhm.
picture, and so I'm just keeping with that bat image. I basically have a big bat that I'm hitting people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really cool.
Got a 9.
Whew. And you've rolled flat.
Yep.
So it is a legit 9. That is pretty great. So 7 to 9, your risk pays off, kind of. I think it pays off only if everybody gets out. So I think the cost, the kind of, is that you're going to get shot.
Sure.
So you get shot for, again, 3 harm, nearly killing you. What do you do? I imagine that you're like shutting off the capstone or the like the cover. Where were you shot, I guess, is what maybe the question I want to ask. Where did Rogan take a hit?
So the cloud comes out, and you can basically just see the outline of this bat, and I start knocking heads, and I'm like, people are running behind me, and I work my way up to a door like panel, and I'm about to hit the panel when another guard comes around and shoots me like in the ribs, and I hit the panel and the blast door comes down.
That's awesome.
And we get out, but I'm like holding on to my left ribs or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was like someone commented that the stormtroopers are good shots. I think that they shot a lot, but one of them hit you. Cool. So then I think we cut to a scene of everyone keeping quiet and moving through these tunnels, hoping that you will not be discovered. Overhead, you hear the rumble of huge APCs. You hear the whoosh of an ATST that's quickly moving back to this detention center. You hear the loudspeakers calling out the alarm and telling people that this sector of Coruscant is shut down. Say you're near the port district, and this sector of the port district is currently under martial law. That there are a number of detainees who have escaped and are running amok. And so for the sake of law and order, please remain in your homes and your domiciles. We will keep you safe, citizens of Coruscant.
See how afraid they are of us, brothers. We go to freedom.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
The voiceless insurgency frees you all. The cause is... Oh no, it hurts.
So Charlotte, where do you guys end up with these 20 or so escapees from the detention center?
Oh, there has to be like a halfway house for escapees of this cell. So I think it's let me check the locales again and let me know if this is okay. But I think we're at like the old speakeasies part of Setsu's show cantina.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm into it. Sweet. So above you hear some jazz music playing low. They're between shows, so this is like the point where people are just hanging out. You can hear that above you, and during the old speakeasy part, which is the one that is getting a lot more use lately than it has in the last few decades. And Chin says, I cannot thank you enough, my brethren. Our party is so strong now. Oh, Rogan. And she points out that Rogan has been shot. What do you do, Curl, when it's been pointed out that Rogan is in a world of hurt here?
I think I rummage around in my bag looking for something that might be able to help. and I come up with like a greasy rag, and I kind of put that back. I don't think I have anything. And I think I walk over and I just kind of stand next to him and try to support. He's much taller than I am, but I think he can lean on me as we head out. And I think I start. We've done this a number of times, and I think I start through the list of very methodically. Now that you've escaped, and I'm addressing like all the prisoners. Now that you've escaped, don't go home. Don't use your credit. Don't use your credit stick. They will trace you. Start anew. The best kinds of jobs people won't see are menial jobs. Just going through this list of things. But I think for Rogan, I'm lean on me, and we can see about getting you patched up.
Oh, so you don't want to look through your bag to see if you have some kind of like back to spray or anything?
So I don't think I would.
Okay,
but
cool.
I think I can, once we get to a place of relative safety, I think I can try and take and tear off a strip and bandage him up or something like that. Maybe I think maybe I'll eventually get something like that, but right now I think I'm running low on it.
Awesome. I'm into it.
Yeah.
If we're in a safe enough space, Lynn has a move called Healing Touch that he would like to use.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I? I'd like to help set that up as well.
That sounds good.
As, Curl's like Rogan's leaning on Curl, and I'll just loom over. I imagine that the Gamorreans are huge, and like she is looming over Rogan, and just looks down, sets this meaty paw on his shoulder. You did well, brother. Allow us to help you through the Wayfinder. He will help you find peace and wholeness once again. And like I do, like I stand back and like I'm part magician's assistant, part nun helping psych up Lynn, and I'd like to help him with his role to use the healing touch.
That's awesome.
I think Curl, while this is going on, while this is being said, just kind of grimaces and kind of spits on the ground and like, oh.
Definitely.
I don't think I'm into it either. But I'm not going to, say that. I'm just going to say, I'll follow anything that helps me stay alive. And what I'm trying to activate is my brutally honest move. When you say something painfully honest to a fellow comrade, it counts as sharing a quiet moment. Add 1 to the roll. So
we're just stacking moves. I love it.
This is cool. Yeah. What's it? Do you actually say?
What is? That's what
I'm.
Oh, what does Rogan say?
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I thought you said something brutally honest, and I missed it.
I'll follow anything so long as it gets me home.
Oh, you said that. I thought it was in. You said.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'll follow anything as long as it gets us home. Perfect.
And I figure I'll just go ahead and give the 1 to Lynn, who's having to roll the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Char is going to do help, and then I'll roll my healing touch. Okay.
Yeah.
14.
Wow.
Good work, Ferret. That's the stuff.
We are a duo. We are together.
Yeah.
All right. On a 10+, they heal 1 harm and appears miraculous.
Well, that was to help me, so I actually need to roll the healing touch.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So that was a +2.
You get a +2.
And then my boy Rogan is giving me a +1, so I have a +3.
So hold on. I think actually.
Yeah.
I think actually you're doing so. If you're using brutally honest, Rogan, then you're sharing a quiet moment and get a +1. That is not help or hinder.
Yeah, you have to roll that with a +1 and then choose from the list like I did when I helped.
So it's activating it makes me roll. It doesn't allow me to give it to somebody else's roll.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the add 1 to the roll is adding 1 to your share a quiet moment, and you're sharing a quiet moment with Lynn Lanid, which is adorable, and I love it.
Okay. Well, still, there's a +2 in the relationship between Lynn and Rogan.
Right. So it's a +3 with this roll. Are you having trouble with the die roller? I can help.
Who's rolling?
I thought Rogan was rolling with the +3.
Oh, I thought Lynn was rolling with a +3. Okay.
So your move triggers share a quiet moment. So you need to
Right.
roll for share a quiet moment, which is 10, or excuse me, just 2d6 plus your bond with me +1 because of your
Right.
special move, your brutally honest move. And
Right.
then-
So that's the +3 part.
Right.
And
so then,
you could, if you were looking to give a +1, one of the options from share a quiet moment is carry one ongoing. So you could do that to give Lynn that potential +1. That's why I want to make sure you did yours first.
I got a 9.
Sorry, it was not clear. Sweet. Okay, so you got a 9. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one. Carry one ongoing, which give Lynn another +1. Add one to bond with Lynn, or you can actually heal 1 harm on Lynn. But you only get
I
one.
will heal 1 harm on Lynn.
That's awesome.
okay. So with Char kind of being the assistant, as it were, leading up to the moment, and then
The
Rogan's
hype woman.
being brutally honest. I think Lynn looks really sheepish at Rogan, and he's just kind of like, "You are important for the cause, no doubt. This is your path." And he reaches out and places his hands. So I'm rolling with a +2.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to, excuse me, I'm rolling with a +4 because it's roll plus bond with Rogan, and then
Nice.
+2 from helping. So,
And the max you can get in this game is +4. So
Okay.
you're maxing out. Let's see how it goes. Snake eyes, snake eyes, snake eyes, snake eyes.
how dare you? All right, I clicked roll, I believe. I got snake eyes, so I got a
Oh
six.
my God!
I hope you're proud of yourself, Rich.
I feel good. No, I don't.
Story-wise, that's great because it
Mark
means that
experience.
he healed you, but you didn't heal him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think-
yeah.
I think that Curl's like, oh yeah, right. Like this charlatan's going to be able to do anything.
And I think what we see is like a little bit of like this glow, but then the glow starts to die out, Lynn, before you saw Rogan's beautiful kind of purplish flesh knit together. And then there's a click, and not a click of a gun, a click, and a little loudspeaker down in this particular speakeasy area comes on and says, boys in white, which is, there are stormtroopers upstairs. Be fucking, stay tight. You know, be worried. Don't come up is effectively what has just been sent your way. What do you do?
Don't forget your experience, Cody.
Yeah. Mark XP. Oh, and also you should heal another harm. You should be down to 1 harm. You got it. Okay, you already took care of it.
I guess I rejected your power, right? Like, is that what's going on? Like my
Ooh.
my disbelief is what's like affecting your.
I think Lynn doesn't know. I think Lynn just kind of, he looks up at you kind of like sheepishly and hopeful, like, you feel any better? Maybe.
And I'm going to absolutely lie to him and say, yes, I feel better.
Oh. Good. The cause is right. The cause is right. Oh, I shouldn't yell.
And you hear above you like footsteps, the music has stopped, and you know that there are stormtroopers above you. Kirill, what do you do?
So I think I'm going to keep, as long as everyone's quiet and everything, I reach over to Lynn Lanid's tunic, right? And it's nice and white, except for where he's been hit. And I think I'm going to quietly tear a piece off. I'm going to use that to kind of staunch the bleeding from Rogan's wound, because I don't have anything else that's really clean. And, Lynn doesn't, it's messy anyway. It's fine.
I mean, are you sharing a quiet moment here, trying to help as you guys are quietly waiting for the stormtroopers to leave?
I think it's a shared moment with Rogan, as neither of us believe in that weird glowy stuff. That was magic stuff. That's not going to work. It takes time and medicine to heal.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll roll share a
Plus
quiet
bond.
moment.
Yeah.
Bond and Rogan. I've been rolling a lot with him. That's a 12.
Okay. Then you get to make 2 choices from the list.
Can I choose healed harm twice?
It doesn't say you can't, and I think that's fine.
Okay. So that's what I'd like to do is I'd like to heal two ticks of his harm.
That's hot.
And this is, I have nimble fingers, and I actually produce like a little needle and stitch him up. Oh no, even better. It's a little tube of glue. And I kind of, press the wound together and dab the glue on, and then I bind it up a little bit. And that glue, for some reason, it's really cold whenever it first goes on. It feels cool, but it numbs that area and helps a little bit.
Lynn whispers in Char's ear, the path works in mysterious ways.
And I think Charlotte holds up her hand for absolute silence, and I want to trigger my artist's medium of perception with painting, and try and discover how many stormtroopers there are above us by listening to their footsteps and the sounds of feet in armor.
Oh, cool.
So I am going to be I think using the move what's going on here.
Okay, this sounds awesome.
I have a detail I'd like to add before you roll, if that's okay. So I've been thinking about the ways that we show each other who we are. And if you'll imagine, like in 3 dimensions, like the letter V coming off of like a sh noise is to be voiceless, right? Like we're trying to like use that power that we currently have of being voiceless to be absolutely silent. It's just a way I imagine that we might also recognize each other or something like that. So
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there, if that's okay.
That's fine. And so yeah, let me roll this with a +1, so I'll have to edit this before I roll. And oh dang, that is a 6.
Sweet. Ask one question.
And since my artistic license, I get to ask anything I want, not what's stuck on the list.
Oh, make up your own questions. Nice. So you get to ask a question. Brace for the worst.
Yeah. How could I best buy time for everyone else to escape?
Oh, hey, good news. These guys can probably escape after the slaughter happens moments from now. They're rounding everyone up in this cantina, and they're basically putting them up against a wall right now. The stormtroopers are.
Oh, then I know what I have to do then. It's not going to be pretty for anyone.
What do you do?
I'm walking upstairs with my flamer in hand.
Awesome. Your brother grabs, I don't know, like a bottle, and he will walk up after you. Guys, you see the 2 Gamorreans are walking upstairs where the stormtroopers are. Your Rodian friend, Chinchenses, she's hiding in a closet.
I'll note that if either Rogan or Lynn gets shot, we're still dead. So
Yeah. But the path has brought us here. Lynn brings his gun up, and he says, he does the voiceless motion to Rogan and Curl behind him.
I think no. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, and then he just turns and follows Char.
And Char will, stop, do that. I think sign you're too important and turn him back around, like to lead the others back after she's done. Like she doesn't want to sacrifice you. She's not. You're important. She's not.
I think at that, Lynn's just going to speak up because it doesn't matter if they know that they're there. We're about to be noticed, and he just says he's going to say,
if we all go, you must not sacrifice. You know sacrifice. It's just all of us. Together, we'll take care of it.
And he like sweating profusely.
What does Curl do?
I think Curl frowns in. What's the right word? Just he's not happy with the situation. This is just crap. Why? Our job wasn't sent to protect these people. It was to get
Chinchins
out. And he's reluctant, but I think he looks up, sees this interchange going on, is like shakes his head. Do we still have a lot of other refugees with us? Yeah,
there are 20 of them. There are a number of them who are probably going up as well, but they're hesitant. Like no one has moved the crowd, so someone were thinking, oh well, maybe the Gamorreans will just take care of it. Yeah, that seems good.
And I think he basically he stands up from where he is next to Rogan and kind of walks over to where that stairway is. And as the other prisoners are walking up, he starts passing out things. This is a wrench, and they can wield it a little bit. And, to someone who doesn't look as strong but might be a little bit smaller, he hands them like a little blowtorch looking thing, that's used to, it's like a soldering iron kind of thing. And, all these tiny little things that might make the difference as they go in. And I'll follow up. I'm going to, Curl will kind of totter on up, and whenever things come down, he'll see about jumping in. But I'm gonna wait for Charlotte to pull the trigger.
And I think if Lynn is still following, and I'll sign speak truth, and just try and get you to rile up the crowd.
Sweet. Yeah. You're gonna rile up the crowd? Somebody want to start something?
I think I want to start something. It's a little tough to rile them up when we're trying to be a little quiet as we approach. But yeah, I think Lynn.
I think you can do it not just with words, but like actions, right? You're obviously been shot, and you're still moving on this. So
yeah, so Lynn's gonna kind of stand, at the stairs where a little bit of the light from the room above kind of shines onto his face, and he holds the DL-44 up to his up on the right. And he places a hand on the wound, not covering the wound, but actually kind of framing it so they clearly see that he has been shot before and already in this moment. And he speaks up and he says, "The voiceless need many to speak, and we are here to speak for them. But to do that, we must take care of all these bucket heads. We will not allow this to happen. We will not allow any more of our people to be stomped under booted foot. Join us, join the path. Walk the path and claim your voice. Wanosa!" And then he turns and goes after Char.
Roll a spirit. Let's see how this goes.
All right. Spirit is 2, so that's good news. All right, so this is start something 2d6, 2 spirit. Roll the dice. 8.
8. Okay, so 7 to 9. You can choose. The mob is large. The mob heeds your instructions, or the mob is peaceful. Don't think you don't want that one.
Yeah, I think it's just the mob heeds your instructions. I think they're all going to run out with the cause aflame in their breast and charge these stormtroopers.
Sweet. So after Lynn gets them whipped up, and Kirill, you gave them lots of weapons. They're charging up Rogan. What are you doing?
Oh boy. Like Rogan, if he'd had like any time at all, would have just been like, able-bodied people go up and the rest of us will go back to where we came from and try to find a different place to exit.
It's really smart. Yeah, that would have been a really good plan. That was good. Good thinking, Rogan.
Yeah. But
what do you do now?
Yeah, right. I pat Carol on the shoulder and I pull out my baton and I walk up with heavy hands and heavy head.
Sweet.
Do you want to maybe share an intimate moment with me as we stand side by side before kicking the door open?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you say something brutal, then you get to add one.
Right. It didn't have to go this way, but there's no one else I'd rather be shoulder to shoulder with. So let's see. Quiet moment is bond. And my bond with Charlotte is a 3. Holy moly. Okay. So that's a 4 total.
Most you can roll. Don't roll snake eyes.
Don't roll. Now don't roll snake eyes. What?
I know. I'm capricious.
I got a 10.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so with that 10 on Share a Quiet Moment, you get to pick 2 from the list.
I will carry 1 ongoing
Mm-hmm.
and add 1 to the bond, which
That's awesome.
hits to +4.
Yeah, that means that you guys will both mark, or see, you'll mark XP and it resets,
Yeah.
like it does in.
And so I think now I will take advantage that we have a gang and I'm boosted.
Mm-hmm.
So I will roll to get rough with a +1.
All right, this might be the last roll of our session. So you're boosted and got a gang.
Is it-
so
Is it a +2? Didn't I get a
Yeah,
+1?
I'm negative. I'm a -1, so it's just +1.
Okay, got it.
That is an 8.
oof, on a 7 to 9, deal harm and pick 1.
Ooh, I really want to. I want to get everyone out. I think this is a blitz that we go in and get out. So we're going to disengage after this. Everyone's going to run free.
Okay, so what happens is you guys have this conversations. You're starting to head up the stairs. You hear the sound of tables being shoved out of the way as these stormtroopers are clearing the way and pushing everyone up against the wall. And there's that brief moment at the doors just before you burst out. And when you come out, you see that some of the show cantina dancers are there in makeup, but like they weren't fully dressed because they were dragged out of the dressing rooms. You see waiters, you see some of the people who are just here for a nightcap, and they're all up against the wall, and the stormtroopers had lined up, but they're turned completely away from you, and they're taken by surprise for a moment. And so you're able to close the distance and slam into them. And it's like 2 opposing armies. It buys enough time to where some of the people who might have been inclined to fight, who are against the wall, they turn. And yeah, it gets ugly. You guys swap harm. A number of the bucket heads are taken down. A number of the clientele and some of the prisoners, the escapees who are with you, are also hit. Some die, but you are able to disengage, and we will end this session with the 4 of you taking off out of Setsu's show cantina with some of the detainees, with some of the customers and members of the client, the workers at the cantina, making your way out as we hear a couple of TIE fighters scream overhead. And that is where we will end our session. Like the last moment that we have is there's like the rumble of some more tanks, and we come back into the show cantina, and the camera pans down the stairs, and then the closet opens up, and Chin Chin sticks her little head out. So let's pick which of the 4 of you most embodied the party's ideals in this session.
I would actually say Kirill. He stayed on target the entire time. He stayed on plan. He stayed on the path that we had.
Okay. Anyone opposed to that? Anybody have a counter?
I would have gone with Lynn. Lynn had the big speeches. Definitely got the crowd moving.
Yeah.
So I can see either one.
And just to be clear, to actually read the rules, at the end of each session, ask your players to choose a comrade whose efforts best embody the spirit of the revolution. Maybe a comrade who fought bravely, rescued others from harm, maybe one who died. So either of those options are interesting to me.
I would actually vote for Lynn as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Are you opposed to that, Cody?
No, I would vote. I guess I was judging it off of our pathway to revolution using mayhem, so I was gonna go either Rogan or Char because they're blowing stuff up and using flamethrowers. But I think if it's kind of just whatever, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
All right, cool. So now what we do is using your character's stats, we're going to quickly go through the pathways to revolution. So did you guys use your strength to crush the opposition in this session? I think so, yes. So roll with body using your body.
Do we roll for all of them, or do we just roll for?
If you achieved any of them, like if we did this in this session, then you're going to be rolling on each of those pathways to revolution.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
there's a lot of fighting, I think force was definitely a thing.
Okay, sorry guys, I got a -1. Roll the dice. Oh, I got a 6.
You rolled 6 twice in a row. That is crazy. Cool. So on a 7 to 9, 10 plus, increase your party's rank and force. On a 7 to 9, the public approves of what you've done. Every comrade marks 1 experience. On a miss, neither happens. So I'll look up if there's anything else I need to do on miss. Organization. You execute a daring plan with precision. Do you guys feel that you executed a daring plan with precision?
I don't think the precision necessarily.
When your party does something high profile to inspire the oppressed masses.
I'm saying yes.
I can see. All right, roll with spirit.
I think we engaging in a large, battle with stormtroopers is pretty inspiring, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What zealotry is what this is? Okay.
Yep.
I'm just labeling them all, which is probably unnecessary. Sorry.
That's how it's fun. All right, a 9. Okay, on a 10 plus, increase your party's rank. On a 7 to 9, the public approves of what you've done. Every comrade marks experience.
All right.
Man, that's hard. It is hard to advance your rank. Okay. When your party plants bombs, sets fires, attempts assassinations, otherwise use violence indiscriminately, roll with guile. I think, yes, you also did that. So roll with guile.
All right. -1, 8.
I love the title on that roll. On a 7 to 9, the public approves of what you've done. Every comrade gains experience. Wow, this is like an XP farm. Do you think you risk your lives for each other?
I think especially at the end there, we all just decided to lay it on the line.
This part I'm confused by. How do you roll with bond when your bond is different for each individual person?
That is a good question. Roll with bond.
Let's just do it at a +1, but I'll double check that and we'll call out the number result. And if it's different, when I look up the rules, then we'll have different.
Rolling with a +1.
All right, 12. That's awesome. You guys get to go up a level in fellowship. 10 plus.
I know who our friends are.
Yep. Now your party recruits friends. Each new comrade starts an additional +1 bond with someone in the party. Neat.
And do we also gain? Oh yeah, we still gain 1 experience.
Do you? I guess.
Yeah, because it's
oddly phrased. It says it happens on 7 to 9. It doesn't say it happens on 10 plus.
I think it's so on a 10 plus, blah 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 period. On a 7 to 9, blah 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 period. And then every comrade gains 1 experience if you did it, I think.
You're right. Yes, absolutely.
Although that also means that that's
also gaining. You gain 3 XP is basically what you got.
Yeah.
Wow. Hope you guys all made some levels there. Cool. I don't think there's any end of session moves in this game, correct? For you
I think
guys?
this might replace the end of session moves.
I think it does too.
Yeah.
I just didn't think there were any playbook related, and there probably shouldn't be. Sweet. So, with our remaining time, just very quickly try to go through some stars and wishes. Wishes. We'll start with wishes. End with stars.
Don't we do the bond thing? Like if you feel close.
Oh yes. So similar to the end of thing. End of each session, name a comrade to whom you feel closer and increase your bond by 1. If it raises it to a +4, mark experience and reset your bond to +1. So, Lynn, who do you feel closer to?
I think I feel even closer to Char, to be honest.
Nice.
So that puts me at 4, resets to 1.
And you mark XP.
Resets to 1, yeah.
And I'm at
resets to 1.
I have 5 XP marked already, so that's a level up. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Okay, so I'll be at 1 XP, and I need to choose a move for next time. Okay.
Yep, and I haven't copied all the advances for your particular playbook. I'll do that after this session ends.
Okay.
Down on starts at row 83.
Then I'll just make a note for myself.
Carol, to whom do you feel closer?
Probably Rogan, especially after that interchange with Lynn's failure to heal and all of that. I definitely
that was so good. That was so good. Rogan, to whom do you feel closer?
It's either Shar with that last shoulder to shoulder thing, or Carol with the healing thing.
I know there's no bad choice on either of those.
I'll go with Carol.
Cool. And then Charlotte.
Oh, I actually have to say Rogan on this. Like Lynn did what I expected of him. Rogan actually complimented me for like the first time.
That's true. Nice. Now, let's real quickly. I know we're almost out of time. Here, I thought we were ending early. Damn it. So let's start with wishes. Wishes. Anything that you definitely want to have for future sessions, like I really need X or Y to happen, or I wish there was a little more clarity on X or Y particular part of the rule set. We'll start from right and head to left. Ferret, wishes?
I want to see consequences for our action, but I also want like a bit of downtime so we can plan something out and see where we want to strike. Yep. But it seems to be doing well. Those are my wishes.
Cool. I appreciate that. And so now we'll go to Mark.
I wish that there were rules for armor. Yeah. I can't wait to see what it's like when we're in whatever our meeting place is. Like, I want to see who's there. I want to learn all the other members of our cell. Now that we have a fellowship thing going on, I want to see like people showing up wanting to join. I don't know if it's gonna be like Fight Club style where we have people staying outside the door or something like that. But just what is it like when we're not at war? But if we can't get there until the 3rd session, I understand that, because if we need to follow up directly from where we are, then we should do that. So.
I'll give a think on that of like, do we want to jump forward to a different time or have an immediate follow-up from what's going on? I have thoughts. Cool. Thank you very much.
Oh, and I see more of Chen.
Yes, I want to see more of Chen as well. So we'll make that happen. Steven, wishes?
I wish, so I ran into an issue with the rules not being completely clear. During character creation, I have an option to give a character -3. I now see at the end of the game that when we adjust your bond, if this brings your bond to -3, you mark XP and reset it to 0. So I think that must be a typo in the playbook.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and that's why the character keeper was just a -2. So we'll just stick you at -2 then again.
Yeah. So I guess that's the only issue that I really came up with.
Yeah. That's a really fair thing to have a problem with, though. That's jacked. Cool. And then Cody.
Wish, I think I really like the thought that this might just be like one big night of already the way this session went has kind of seen us fail forward. And while I would like to see those moments where we're at HQ and like a downtime moment where things can breathe, it kind of feels like it's almost like the Warriors, like we just got caught up in one big night. And so I'm very excited to see like this night continue.
So maybe we could do flashbacks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my wish, I guess.
Stick with you, Cody, for stars. Any play or particular aspects of the game that you enjoyed today?
Yeah, I really dug. First of all, I dug the game. I dug the choosing comrades as a backbone for a Star Wars game. I think is really interesting, really cool. There is some finickiness with like the idea of all this faith stuff and things that Star Wars just generally doesn't tackle. So I think that we're all kind of bringing not a heavy hand, but we're all bringing a helping hand to kind of address that and try and make it work together. I think is really beneficial. Ferret, I loved how quickly you jumped in just to support all in. You're like, all right, Lynn's my guy. So I loved having somebody kind of there to push me to do things as well and be a little bit more, than I wanted to be, I guess. And Mark, I loved Rogan. I loved the brutally honest stuff, especially the revelation that you're not into any particular cause. You'll just do whatever gets you forward. I think there's, an interesting line of thought there that'll see us go forward. And Steven, my boy, quiz boy, always wonderful, always bringing the heat, always utilitarian. You know exactly how to fill the slot in the party to what we need. And in this case, it's literally filling it with tools. So yeah, I think everybody just did a wonderful job. It was a great game.
Thank you, Steven. What about you? Any stars you want to hand out?
Sure. So I really enjoyed the game. I felt like it really brought the Star Wars. It had a good Star Wars feel to it, I felt like. And it's a portion of Star Wars we don't normally see. I really enjoyed the camaraderie there at the end between Rogan and Charlotte, going out to fight together. I liked seeing Lynn Lynette again. That was a lot of fun, especially since he kind of popped out, got hurt, and then started giving rousing speeches. And that was fantastic. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Mark, what about you?
I'll just simply say that I think that nobody did that first session hang back and see what's going on, and everybody figured out their character real damn quick, and that was really good. And all of the hard moves really pushed real hard, so great choices on those. But I mean, when you're always like, when the choice is like send in stormtroopers, it's like, yeah, send in more stormtroopers. So
thank you, Rich. Like the last scene really felt like what Star Wars is to me, that it is being good when good is hard. And like, we were not going to let the Cantina people take the brunt of what they were doing for us. And like, even though not everyone made it, it feels like it was the right decision, which in this game of Comrades, I think is to have like a right decision is kind of rare, as you're kind of, it's very, it feels like it would be rare. Like this felt like the proper thing to do in the Star Wars kind of feel. Lynn, just all those wonderful sayings, like even while I'm dying, Quinosa, and just like it's perfect. And Rogan, like staying behind and drawing the line was amazing. And Carol, just kind of like when you realize you're over your head, it's just like, okay, just swim a bit higher and start handing things out and let everyone know we're in this together. It was great.
This was very like best parts of Rogue One feels for me. I really loved it. Yeah. And just bravo to all of you guys for just jumping in and really throwing in hard. This is great. I adore this group and I can't wait till next week. I'm shocked at how much fun I had today. Like I wanted to have a good time, but like this was thrilling. This was really good. And like you said, it felt very Star Wars-y in the best way. So thank you all so much. We'll bring the stream to an end here.